Hey, though. It's the mafia. This shit for all the gangsters, nigga. Real story. Jugging out the double doors, cuz in the 6'4". Choppers hitting switches on these niggas back in 94. Basketball practice, and after that I'm back to selling dope. When the cops hit the ab, I done made a rack off of my pager though. When the WAP hit my box, I'ma hit them back, I'm on the payphone. My shoebox getting full, I need to go buy me a safe for real. It's treacherous outside, not supposed to have it, but I paid for it. A brand new out the box, Tootie on me while I'm trapping. And I hope it's time for that Coach for the Streets, hosted by Mafia Paint. Ain't no news like street news. If you're here for the news or you're here for the streets, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's just like that. Now let's get into this culture, man. First and foremost, man, rest in peace, Irv Gotti, man, who recently passed. We ain't never gonna get on here and troll the passing of somebody, so that's not what this is for. But we are going to get into 50 Cent trolling his longtime enemy Irv Gotti, which he also, you know, everybody has mixed opinions about how 50 feels right now. Let me know down in the comments about how you feel about 50 trolling the passing of Irv Gotti. Rest in peace once again to Irv Gotti. Shout out to everybody that was part of the Murder Inc. crew, from Ja Rule, Ashanti, Black Child, 01, all the way down. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of sad, you know what I mean? Irv Gotti actually had a period in hip-hop where he changed it, where he had a run, where he brought people in, gave them opportunities, and they became successful too. So we got to emphasize that when we talk about Irv Gotti. I just don't want to sit here and point the fingers at what's going on with him and 50 Cent after he's gone. I want to also give him his flowers for the things that he accomplished as a Black, successful entrepreneur, first and foremost. So once again, condolences to the family of Irv Gotti, and rest in peace to Irv Gotti. But we also know 50, and we also know when you get under 50, when you rub 50 the wrong way, it's not going to go right. And it's not going to go right for a very long time. The beef can't be too serious in order for it to be squashed in the future. And I think when it comes to beef that he had with Gotti, Irv Gotti, Supreme, the people around Supreme, and other people like Young Buck, his disagreements with Buck, his disagreements with Banks, his disagreements with the gang. 50 holds on to these situations for a lifetime, right? Just like we see with his relationship with Ross and Meech. So we got to expect the same thing from 50 Cent when it comes to how he feel about his enemies no longer being on this earth with us. You know what I'm saying? We can't expect him to have sympathy. We can't expect him to be mindful of the family. Like 50 done been through certain things when it came to Preem. 50 been through certain things when it came to Irv Gotti and Murder Inc. and Ja Rule and the people that was around him, right? And we all know this, so we can't sit here and we can, from our perspectives, we can have an opinion on what we feel 50 should be doing or how he should go about the situation, knowing Irv Gotti is no longer here, right? So instead of being mindful, instead of having sympathy, instead of having the same types of opinion about the situation that we do, we don't think he should have did it. We think it's wrong. We just don't think it was a proper manner or it wasn't a thing that made us look at 50 any better than we already did. It made us look at him like at the end of the day, he don't care. That wasn't somebody he had a relationship. So we can't look at 50 like he wrong behind that. You dig what I'm saying? But let's get into it. First of all, right? When somebody goes as far as to... Now, let me just say this first and foremost, right? 50 and Ja Rule will never be cool. Have they been in any physical altercations throughout the last 10 years, last 10, 15 years? No. But 50 being a street dude and going and dealing with people in a street manner when it comes to disagreements and fallouts and real street issues. He hold on to these disagreements. He treat them as such. And the problem may last a lifetime. So to see 50 sit here, go on Instagram, knowing that Irv Gotti no longer here with us, we know that that's his enemy. You think 50 cared when he went to the hookah bar? Grabbed the hookah? We don't even see 50 Cent too much even be at no hookah bar, let alone to be at the hookah bar and he actually smoking hookah with a tombstone next to him. Not no company, but a tombstone hanging next to him. And 50 also knows how to troll the internet. Not only was this distastefully a taunt toward Irv Gotti, right? It was ultimate disrespect, not to just Irv Gotti, right? But to his family. But once again, Irv Gotti was 50 Cent's enemy, right? So from 50's perspective, he do what he normally do when it come down to niggas he don't mess with, right? Right? So to see 50 sitting there right there, G-Unit closed down, R.I.P. tombstone right there, hookah in his hand, being funny. He don't see no wrong in it. At the end of the day, the stuff that he went through with Preem and the things he went through with Murder Inc., we wasn't there. We don't know none of the niggas that was there. We don't know why it even really happened. We all got our own opinion of what we feel he should have did. But at the same time, if somebody go outside, step on your cousin, and you know who did it, but the police don't catch him, and he out on the streets, then let's just say he gets stepped on. But your people ain't responsible for him getting stepped on, right? Is you going to be mindful that he got stepped on after stepping on your people? Or are you going to be happy that he gone? It don't matter if it's natural causes or due to how the streets play out, right? Hell no, we not. I'm not rooting for somebody that caused harm to my family. I'm not being mindful of nobody that caused harm to my family. And don't expect me to. And if you expect me to, I'm looking at you like fuck you too. If you understand where I'm coming from. So understand where 50 coming from. So when you look at these comments and stuff that people saying, you see, they really tried to kill 50 and y'all expect them to show some sympathy. I understand that. But to a civilian that ain't really went through nothing in the streets, you really ain't took these types of losses that make you feel a certain type of way towards other people or people that's responsible, right? You wouldn't understand why he don't got no sympathy. We talking about somebody that been stabbed up, jumped on, altercations coming about when they bump into each other. And them same group of people hung around somebody else that allegedly put bread on 50 head. We do know 50 got shot like 9 or 13 times, something like that. Either which way, they really tried to take him down. So when Preem get life, and Irv Gotti pass, and Ja Rule fall off, we think 50 supposed to give a fuck? No, he's not supposed to give a fuck that people or things that's happening to people that he's enemies or that he considered real life enemies. He ain't supposed to have no sympathy about that. People think this is bringing bad luck on 50. You got people in the comments. Evidently, it was a female saying, baby, his fall will be epic. Once you start doing, this is the bad side about what 50 doing. And if you agree, leave it in the comments. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. It's time for that. Culture for the streets. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you here for the news or you here for the streets, hit that like button. He goes too far. 50 always went too far. But we can't tell 50 how far to go when he's the one that had to endure these things that he went through in this lifetime that we wasn't there to witness it. We wasn't there to stop the situation. We just heavy on opinion. We just heavy on judging. We being judgmental. We having civilian perspective about street issues, even though we talking about people that's getting millions of dollars in the corporate world. Can we not forget they came from the streets? Because one thing you ain't gonna forget, even when you make it out the streets and you become successful and you become rich and you getting a different type of money, your money puts you in a different tax bracket, right? You ain't gonna forget what no roach look like, nigga. You came from the trenches. You seen roaches, you seen bugs, you seen, yeah. You know what it looked like to see the struggle. And when it's bad out there, your environment, you become a product. You don't forget that. You just relieved of it. $50 don't forget when people crossed him. He don't forget what his enemies tried to bring him harm. He don't forget about the harm done to him. Don't forget this man. They tried to take him down in front of his grandparents' house. If I'm not mistaken, didn't his grandparents like witness a part of him, you know what I mean, of them trying to step on him? If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure his grandfather or his grandmother saw part of that. So we gotta throw the thinking like a civilian in this type of situation. Yeah, I'm sending my condolences to Irv Gotti. Prayers to his family. It's rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Respect to Irv Gotti and everything he built and opportunities he gave and the things he showed us coming from where we come from. He gave us inspiration to think with an I can mind state. He plays a part in that too. When we watch people from where we come from become successful, that becomes inspiration to the ones that's still back there trying to figure out how to get out the situation too. For every person that comes from our environment, it makes it easier for us to stop saying I can't, because we seeing people that do it. So we can. Irv Gotti was part of that. I didn't have no issue with Irv Gotti. I didn't run into Irv Gotti and a nigga jugged me with the $150. I didn't run into Irv Gotti and we had shootouts. Irv Gotti wasn't cool with my ops. But everything Irv Gotti wasn't to me, we know he was that to 50. We know how 50 feel about him. We know that. And to see it go on, yeah, it's wrong. But when it comes to social media, do not forget that most of these celebrities understand that social media is also a money machine. It's also a cash register. So when they do things that go viral, including things like 50 Cent being at the hookah bar with a tombstone next to him, saying R.I.P, knowing that he's indirectly talking about Irv Gotti. Or may I say directly, because he say he's smoking on Irv Gotti pack. You feel what I'm saying? So he being direct, right? We gonna feel however we feel about what 50 did because we feel like he shouldn't have done it at a time like this when somebody family going through something like this. But he did anyway. It went viral anyway. You don't think 50 getting some money off of this? Going viral, being that it went viral on every social platform? The bloggers ain't the only ones that posted it. He posted it first. 50 ain't only a street dude. He intelligent. So it's wrong to us. But it's absolutely right to 50. And we can't knock that. Because at the end of the day, $50 the one had to go through that experience. And then that also leads us to what else I want to get into about the whole Lil Meech, Big Meech, Southwest T situation with 50 Cent. Because you also have mixed opinion about how people feel towards 50 cutting Lil Meech off over the situation. He disagreed with how Meech moving. When Southwest T came home, what we see Southwest T do. Now, let's also emphasize this, right? First and foremost. While 50 was free on land, Meech free on land. Before 50 comes and give Meech these opportunities, Lil Meech wasn't making millions of dollars. We know that. Let's start there. You put him in that situation. Now he walking around Richard Millie's own, $500,000 in jewelry. He really getting money. He on one of the top watch shows. He really got something going on now. These could lead to other opportunities, right? Now your uncle come home. I don't know how Lil Meech's relationship with Southwest T is because that's Lil Meech's son, right? Right. Then we see Southwest T go right to 50's real life enemy. Well, Preem locked up, but this is Preem's son, right? Now we do know Preem is alleged to have been put that money down on 50, right? Whether it's true or not, they had real issue. We know that, right? Bang. To see Meech and Southwest T both be incarcerated, 50 come give Lil Meech that opportunity. 50 didn't have to let Lil Meech play Big Meech in a series about his dad. Okay, he could have went to Meech, agreed to with Meech and Southwest T about making the BMF series and got two other people to play Meech and Terry, right? He could have did that. But instead, he went and got Lil Meech, which would be just like going to get the best person to play Ice Cube. Would it be his son? Because he looked just like Ice Cube. in his younger day. He did that. They get money. Meech still ain't got no freedom at this time. T still don't got no freedom at this time. But BMF, the series, is jumping at this time. So at this time, think about it. Everybody got some money. Meech was getting paid. Now he building a career for himself. He ain't got to depend on rapping because I'm pretty sure he was trash. And Meech and Terry getting money. They knowing they finna come home to some money because they seeing what BMF doing. And I'm pretty sure it was a bag up front when the opportunity even showed itself. You see what I'm saying? Let's not forget that neither. So you expecting a little bit of respect out of the situation, right? You can't expect 50 not to be mad about Meech over there hanging with Ross. People then got stumped on, boots then been put on people's head and chest and all of that behind them two dudes not being cool. They might not have physically got into nothing amongst each other personally, but it's issue there, right? Long term. You go side by somebody that you probably... Listen, Meech had a relationship with Ross before he went to jail. I'm pretty sure he probably wasn't super close. A lot of people knew Meech. But when you come home and people got bags for you, are you not supposed to get the bag from them because you getting some money over here with somebody that gave you opportunity while you was locked up? I'm pretty sure you knew 52, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have this bond. We didn't heard 50 say when he was coming up and they was doing their thing, he tried to stay from around BMF. Boom. So if Ross had a little bit of a closer relationship with Meech than 50 did, it would only make sense that if it's money over here and some opportunities over here for me to get money, that you would go over there and get money and see to your opportunities over there too, because you do mess with him too. But when you see Ross, hold on, when you see Ross do things like this, and this is after you go be cool with the nigga, this what becomes a problem for a nigga like 50, because he know you going around somebody that's on this type of time with me too, and you expected me to not have an issue with that. So what happens when this does become an issue between the both of us? You understand what I'm saying? Like, and shout out to Coolin TV too, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to Coolin TV, man, y'all go to YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. But when you go, we get money together. I started these opportunities up for you before you even hit land, right? You come home, we getting money still because we still got a whole season finna drop or whatever's going on. We finna shoot it, whatever. I'm pretty sure long term down the line on BMF, Meech would have showed up to play the actual Big Meech. More money on the table. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you're talking about. It's time for that Coach for the Streets. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you here for the news or you here for the streets, hit that like button. Let me know what you're thinking. But when you come home and you go side with an enemy that's going to taunt me, that's going to talk publicly crazy about me, which that makes me know that privately he talking crazy about me too, and you cool with going around somebody, I'm having that type of issue with. I'm going to start looking at you crazy too, because how much can I trust you? It ain't even about the money no more. I got an issue with this nigga. You cool with a nigga that's doing stuff like this. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's definitely the wrong one. You cool with a nigga that's like this, right? I got real issue with this boy. You feel what I'm saying? Real
Get your
issue.
money. You don't know these don't know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you asses for the last 15 years. Everything is touch crumble. Why you think Rose on time? We don't take this shit.
Now you hear what he said to Rick. Now, I am going to say this about Rick Ross. Shout out to Rick Ross, too. Shout out to 50. Shout out to Meech, Southwest T, Lil Meech, everybody. Because I don't have personal issues with these niggas. But when it come to 50 having issues with niggas, whether it was in the music game or in the streets, 97% of them niggas lost. Whether it was just a rap back and forth or actual outside back and forth, bruh. A lot of them niggas lost. Rick Ross was one of the ones that been in the game 15 plus. And he been into it about 15 plus with 50. At least 10. And he survived it. 50 couldn't get Rick Ross shelved. He couldn't get him canceled. When 50 did something funny, Rick Ross came back, did something funny. This is still Rick Ross being just as funny as 50 Cent. When 50 Cent get to being funny. This Rick Ross being just as funny. This who Meech went and got cool with. A nigga that Fifth got a problem with that's just as funny as him. Got just the same amount of talent as him. And he can't call him broke because he getting money like him. And you go stand by a nigga like this, you know behind closed doors, Rick Ross, it's probably fuck 58 trip when Ross and Meech behind closed doors. Meech probably ain't even bringing up 50 because he know Ross gonna be like, man, fuck him. And it's the same way with Meech around 50. So Meech really in a messed up predicament, but we can't forget that Meech his own boss. Presenting opportunities to a nigga like that. That was a big boss. You can't expect providing opportunities and bags of money that this nigga used to having to just to spend, not to be responsible with, right? Just to spend. To be loyal solely off of you giving them a couple dollars. Meech's responsible for walking around and getting to tens of millions of dollars, right? So would it be wrong to say that maybe Meech didn't care how 50 would feel when he went around Rick Ross? Because 50 know that Meech know that it's a problem there that's going to always be there with him and Ross. Now, what I will say, do y'all think Meech, when he got around Ross when he came home, do y'all think Meech tried to resolve their issue while he was around him at first? Let me know in the comments what y'all think. It's time for that Culture for the Streets. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you here for the streets or you here for the news, hit the like button. This supposed to offend 50 in a way. But I could see why not Ross, but Meech might not have felt it would have rubbed him as wrong as it is right now. But now it's going very left. It seemed like Southwest T and Terry, not Southwest T and Terry, them same people, but Southwest T and Meech both came home and just chose to do what they wanted to do. It wasn't about having loyalty to certain people that did certain things to them. These niggas was their own bosses. Like, just because you saying, okay, if you put $1 million right now on El Chapo books, you think when El Chapo get home, you gonna be able to tell the nigga what to do? Hell no. El Chapo not gonna listen to you, nigga. He was an extra boss. You down here somewhere, nigga. And that's the attitude of a nigga. That's that caliber of a nigga in the street. We can't fault Meech for feeling like that. We can't fault Southwest T either. I just think when it came to 50, they should have had a better understanding of the relationships they was going to be having with people when they got out here. These niggas grown. They could have did that. So 50 would have knew how far to go with these niggas, and the expectation level of that he had toward these niggas probably wouldn't have been as high. But it is. Why? Because Meech came home and hung with a nigga like this.
Personal, we getting to the motherfucking money. Now, Big Meech, February 13th, that concert gonna be off the motherfucking hook. Putting his foot up niggas' asses and leaving it in your motherfucking intestine. You know what's going down. Car show bigger than ever. Ricky Rose, the biggest. I've been separated myself from these bros because they don't understand the rules to the streets. You understand? Don't owe you nothing, homie. Don't owe you nothing. Y'all get money together. Y'all get money. Keep moving. All that extra shit. You don't even have a relationship with your own brother, your own mothers and fathers. How the f you gonna act like you real close with me? Stop all that fake camera shit. That's why you ain't got no money. You need a loan, come see the boss. When it's on, come see the boss. Niggas hating if I ain't saying nothing to you. I may want to do something to you. I told you in 06 who the biggest would be. I told y'all. In their emotions. Oh, nigga took a picture with Rose. Oh, man, these emotions.
You see what I'm saying? Now, when you go and hang around people like that got that kind of issue, it's just like I was explaining to my brother the other day when we was talking about this, because he was like, man, these niggas acting like girls on the internet. But I was like, you got to understand, bro, a lot of these people already understand how much money into the internet. These niggas celebrities. So what they say and what they do generate money. So not only are they getting money off of what they doing, but when they say certain things, that generate money too when it come off of their personal platforms. And they understand that. That's why you see Rick Ross able to troll 50 able to troll whoever. You feel what I'm saying? They understand how to navigate the internet and turn that into money. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I was explaining to my brother, what I look like being cool with the nigga that shot you. It's never going to happen, right? But what's not going to happen either is me being cool with a nigga that's running around with the nigga that shot my... You see what I'm saying? That would never happen. Even though the nigga that shot my brother don't even live in the same city as I do. It's not going to happen. So whether I say something in the streets or say something over the internet, my feelings toward the nigga gonna be the same. And that goes back to how 50 felt towards Irv Gotti passing. You think I'm gonna care if the nigga that clapped you get clapped up and it's a wrap for him? No. Don't expect me to, nigga. It don't matter if 20 years passed since that incident occurred. My feelings about it the same. You dig what I'm saying? We come from the streets. We come from them type of environment where certain grudges and certain issues last a long time. Last a lifetime, bruh. So before we judge how 50 feel toward Big Meech and why he cut off Lil Meech, how can you mess with Southwest T? How can you cut Southwest T off? How can you cut Meech off and deal with Lil Meech on a super hard level and still give him these opportunities that you gonna start feeling like, nigga, go over there with your dad. Your dad can, this what your dad supposed to be doing for you, nigga. So since your dad want to be like, fuck me, right? I'm supposed to turn you to a 10 millionaire? Why your pops over here disrespecting me? You love your pops, right? It ain't like you over here like, yeah, man, F him. You ain't doing that, and you ain't supposed to, rightfully so. That's your pops. So to see what he going through, it's almost like you got to understand how he move and how he move. He got to cut ties with everybody. T messed up. Meech messed up. Lil Meech influenced probably, yeah, a little bit by 50 because of the opportunities he put on the table for that boy. That nigga went from looking dingy while Meech was gone to looking like Lil Meech while Meech was gone, looking like Big Meech. Celebrity women. You think Summer Walker would have been messing with Lil Meech if he wasn't on BMF? No. Rico Reckless would have got his chance a long time ago. No cap. It's time for that. Culture for the streets. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you here for the streets or you here for the news, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. We grown over here. Everybody can attend and we can have our perspectives on these issues and these situations that's going on in the culture. You might not be a rapper, but we come from them environments the rappers come from. You might not be a stepper, but you come from them environments the steppers come from. We come from them environments. We are part of the culture no matter what's going on. It's time for that. Culture for the streets. Ain't no news like street news. Let me know how y'all feel about these situations between 50, trolling Irv Gotti passing, his issues with Meech and Southwest T, and that leading to him cutting Lil Meech off. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out of here.